Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the inaugural episode of Bet on Us. I'm BK, he's Sab, and we're going to be going through some of our favorite sports, our favorite picks. We'll pretend that we're odds makers on this show, even though we're not. And it's opening week of the 2024 NFL season, so we got a whole lot to talk about. I know we're both excited.
Sir.
Full disclosure, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. You guys can probably see if you're watching.
Yeah, no
We have a
surprise.
Broncos fan here. But Sab, what's going on, man?
What's up, my man? This is a long time coming. I think we've been talking about this, which feels like for 15 years, but we're here now and we're going to get it
Yep.
going. I'm excited. I'm excited to get
Yeah.
this started finally.
It's official, man.
Yeah, sure.
We'll have some fun with this. But what'd
Absolutely.
you think of the NFL going to Brazil last night? What was that about?
Well, I know I've been talking about this a lot with some buddies and stuff like that. It's been I think it's a disaster. I mean, if you watched any of it last night, the field was atrocious, like always. Even in London, they still haven't gotten the field right. I had a buddy say, I'm asking him, I'm saying, what are they going to do to fix this? And he goes, they should start by probably taking all the cleats out of the soccer players' locker rooms and using those because they're slipping and sliding all over the place. Soccer players obviously don't do it. It's obviously a soccer field. I mean, they got to fix that. I mean, Jordan Love getting hurt last night. We'll get into that. Wasn't exactly from the field, but I mean, it could have been something that may have been prevented. But I just think it's not a good idea personally. But
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, Saquon comes out and has 3 touchdowns.
yeah,
And I'm sure Giants fans are kicking themselves already.
absolutely.
But,
They were watching in horror last night. Watching in
yeah,
absolute horror.
I know. And whatever. It's a long season.
Yep.
We'll see. I'm sick of the Packers, crushing the Cowboys whenever it matters in the playoffs. So,
Yeah, you might escape that now after last night, but
yeah,
we'll see how severe that injury was.
Yep. So on the show here, guys, what we're going to try and do is use all the technology and the brains of the greatest odds makers that are out there now, whether it be DraftKings, Hard Rock, whatever site or app that you guys like to use. And we'll just have a conversation around some of those. And then as diehard sports fans, we'll give you our take. And you can bet on us, or you may not want to, depending on how the season plays out, but time will tell.
You might get to fade us once or twice and be happy about it. So we'll see. Yeah.
That's right. Maybe by halfway through the season, you'll know to bet against us and you start making some money.
If it's anything like the year I had last year, you're going to want to fade me, that's for sure. But hopefully we can switch that up.
Yep. Yeah, let's see. So what we'll start with, I'm going to open it up with 5 picks that I got this weekend. Then I'll hand it over to Sab. And then we're going to get into our picks for week 1 in the NFL season. And maybe we'll give a little teaser of what we think the season's going to look like as far as Super Bowl predictions. All right. But what I want to start with, I'm actually going to the Mets game today, which I'm pretty pumped up about.
You're already dressed and ready.
That's right. So my first pick of the day is going to be the over on the Mets-Reds game today. The over-under is 8.5 runs. If you've been following the Mets lately, they're on an 8-game win streak. The bats are starting to come alive. You got Lindor, is making an MVP run. Vientos had 2 monster home runs last night. Alonso's starting to hit the long ball. And they got Quintana on the mound tonight, who's not their strongest pitcher. So I think that they can get over 8.5 runs today. That's one that I'm excited to watch. I think we'll see a lot of offense in the Mets-Reds game.
Yeah, I think so too. Just to double up on that, actually, with the Mets, starting to look like my Yankees the way they're hitting the ball to the park. But
that's right.
And I think I was telling my buddy, he's a huge Mets fan. We were talking about it the other day, and I said, I looked up at the screen. I was at work, and they were 2.5 back of the Braves, and I said, what is going on? I don't know where they're at now. I'm not going to pretend to know, but I mean, this is crazy. They're even up. See, I mean, and we know with the MLB playoffs, you just got to get in. If you get in and your pitching's hot and you get a couple hitters that are hot, anything can happen. The Royals won the World Series in 2015 against your Mets. We won't talk about that, but and that was why they just got hot at the right time. And that's all you have to do. Just got to get in and get hot.
Yeah, and fingers crossed. That's what I'm hoping for, because the Mets historically, they get hot early in the season.
Yep.
We get excited, and then by July, they're like in dead last.
Exactly.
This year's kind of been the opposite, where they had a crappy start, but now they're really coming alive when it matters. So we'll see. And then the next bet that I got, switching gears, going from MLB over to college football. Last year, USF gave Alabama a real run for their money. And now Bama they've lost legendary Nick Saban. They're kind of going through a lot of transition, obviously, right now. They play USF today, and they are 31-point favorites. So in that game, I am taking USF plus 31. I think that they can cover that monster spread there.
I absolutely love that play. I love Alabama this year, but just going back last year, had a better team last year, had a better coach, played them tough. Why won't they play them tough again?
Yeah,
Don't see why they would.
Hopefully they don't come out with a statement game.
Yeah, which we know Alabama can do very easily. But 31's a lot of points, especially when you get towards the end. I mean, if they're up 28, 24 points in the fourth quarter, you're going to take your foot off the gas. It's just natural.
Exactly.
And that you could look at it maybe like a backdoor cover for USF even.
True.
With that.
True. Sure. And even now, mind you got this bigger playoff system. I don't think there's such an emphasis on we got to win by 50 points every week.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I like USF plus 31. Sticking with college football, we got Nebraska, Colorado tonight. I got to be honest, I am not on the Colorado bandwagon. I like Prime. Again, I'm a Cowboys fan. But what really turned me off last week, they play North Dakota State. They go to the locker room after just winning that game, and they are having like a full-blown party in the locker room like they won the championship. And I'm like, that to me, that says that's a low bar. You're pumped about beating North Dakota State. So give me Nebraska minus 6.5. I think that they can cover that and really surprise Colorado and stick it to them. Next, I just have a couple more here, guys. I'm just going to run them off real quick. In the Jets-Niners game, I like the Niners D. Jets got a good D. Aaron Rodgers coming back. We're going to see how he is. I'm going to take the under 43.5. I'll take the under at 43.5. And then this is my quote unquote sure thing. If you want to bet on Brian or bet on BK this week. All right. We're taking Dak in the Cowboys game over 35.5 pass attempts. The Cowboys have no run game.
Nothing. Yeah. That seems like such a low number. I mean, I feel like do they know who the running backs in Dallas are? I mean, it's
exactly
75-year-old Zeke and Rico Dowdle, who we've been hearing about for 2 years, 3 years, and just they never seem to give him the ball enough. Will they start now? Who knows? But 35 seems like a low number.
I don't think so. I think they hand the keys to Dak. Dak controls the offense. He can call the audibles. He loves to just throw it, even if they're not the deep ball. He just wants to sling the ball everywhere. And like you said, we're getting up there. I think both of us can run faster than Zeke at this stage. And most people don't even know who Rico Dowdle is. So give me Dak over 35.5 pass attempts.
I love that too.
Yep.
I hate to always, this isn't going to be the show where the co-hosts always agree. But in this case, I mean, those 35.5 is just, I mean, he might hit 25 in the first half.
I'm taking it to the bank, baby. Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
But Sab, I'm going to hand it over to you, man. You tell us, what are you thinking this week?
So this week, obviously, week one is one of those weeks where it's almost a feel-out week because the preseason has shrunk. You got guys that don't play at all in the preseason, something that I think is a bad move. Obviously, you don't want to risk injury, but you got a team like my Broncos, who Bo Nix is going to be the starter. He looks great in preseason. He looks like he's acclimating the offense. He looked like he was acclimating the offense before they even drafted him, according to Sean Payton. Sean Payton's just gushing over him. Myself, I've been making posts for about 3 months. I am alarmingly all in on Bo Nix. I know I said I wasn't ready, but I'm ready to be hurt again. Let's just be real. I mean, after the Russell Wilson debacle. So I'm going to start in the NFL and stay in the NFL. That, to me, is my specialty, my expertise, if you will. I absolutely love this homer pick. I love the Broncos +6 on the road against Seattle. To me, Seattle is one of those teams where they still have Geno Smith at quarterback. Okay, Geno Smith is a nice guy. He says some funny things, like when he beat us 2 years ago, and he said they wrote him off, didn't write back. That's all fun and games. But Broncos just paid PS2, made him the highest paid corner in NFL history for about 2 days until Jalen Ramsey signed yesterday. He's going to lock down DK Metcalf. The Broncos are going to run the football. Sean Payton is committed to the run, and Bo Nix gets the ball out quick, going to neutralize any sort of pass rush the Seahawks have. I personally think we can win the game outright. I think they do cover the spread at 6. If you can buy it up to a point and put more on it, make it 7, and just really cover yourself, that might be the play. But I love the Broncos +6 in week 1.
Okay.
Then we're going over to your game. Okay, you're not going to like this one. Browns at home. opening the season against your Cowboys. I think everyone's I believe the over-under is pretty low. I'm not betting that. I think it's going to go over, but that's not what I'm getting at here. I do like the Browns -2 at home. The over-under is only 41. I think it's going to be higher. I think because of going back to your bet with the pass attempts with Dak, I think there's going to be a lot of throwing. I don't think either team's going to be able to run the ball very well. And I think Deshaun Watson is finally back after all the nonsense. I think he's ready. He's focused. He's had a full year to recover from an injury and recover from all the legal nonsense.
Yeah.
You might not like the guy, but he's a hell of a player. He's a great quarterback. He's going to show it. I like the Browns -2 in week 1 against your Cowboys. Then going up one more, going to the Bears, another rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams. You can see behind me if you look really closely. I drafted that guy in the 9th round. He's my starting quarterback. Okay, we'll talk about our fantasy teams too. Both of us waited on a quarterback probably a little too long. But Caleb Williams at home, he gets the Titans. The Titans are an utter mess, okay? Will Levis is a nice guy. You know, he seems like he can throw the ball pretty well, but their defense is a mess. They did sign L'Jarius Sneed, but he can't cover everybody. He can't cover all 3 of those receivers. The Bears made a lot of moves to do what they should have probably done for Justin Fields. They're doing for Caleb Williams, supplying him with those receivers. Rome Odunze, they drafted in the 1st round, the 9th pick, who I can't believe they got him there. But and then also Keenan Allen signing him. And then DJ Moore had a great year last year, my keeper in my league. So I like the Bears -3 at home. It's some books have it at 3.5. I got it at -3, which is nice. So I'm covered there. I like the Bears -3 at home against the Titans. This game, I can see that being like very slow start, maybe 6-3 in the first half, and then Caleb Williams figures it out, starts moving his legs a little bit. Guy's got to run the football too. He's a great runner. He's very athletic. So I like the Bears. All right, and then we'll get to my upset special of the week. Another rookie quarterback. I've been talking a lot of rookie quarterbacks in this segment. I noticed. The Commanders are at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay won the NFC South last year. Baker Mayfield had a great season. Mike Evans is Mike Evans. He's never had a bad year. They lost Devin White to the Eagles, who didn't even play last night, unfortunately. They lost him. He was a big anchor of their defense. Give me the Commanders on the money line for the upset special. This is a survivor pool buster. I know a lot of people took the Commanders in mine. I like took the Bucks against the Commanders. Love the Commanders on the money line. This is Jaden Daniels' coming out party. Rookie quarterbacks are going to shine in week 1. Is basically where I'm at.
Yeah, that's interesting. If there was an overall kind of rookie bet to place in week 1, it sounds like you're on it for these quarterbacks.
And I do have a future bet we'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay. All right, cool. So I think you called out maybe 3 there. If you just want to run through those one more time for me, Sab.
Of course. So we got the Broncos +6 at Seattle. We got the Browns -2 at home against the Cowboys. And then the Bears -3 if you can get it, or it's -3.5 at home against the Titans. And then the upset special, the Commanders on the money line against the Bucks.
Interesting. Okay, those are some kind of, like, to me, flying under the radar picks. I didn't really look too much into those games. Like you said, a lot of rookies, which is a bit of a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe it plays in your favor this week.
Don't parlay it. Absolutely do not parlay it.
Or maybe you do. Maybe you do.
Yeah, you get some great odds, I bet.
This is the show where we get wild, guys.
Exactly.
All right, so now we'll get into our picks for week 1. We're just going to run through. We got a whole slate of games Sunday and obviously then Monday night. And we're going to keep score throughout the season. So this will be fun. You'll get to see how I'm doing, how Sab's doing. You can kind of pick your horse, as the season goes on.
Of course.
Once we both just suck. And then, like Sab said,
that would make for great TV, great podcasting if we're terrible. Because then you can, I see a lot of guys on TikTok are famous for being fade gods. I mean, it's unbelievable. So you suck at what you do, you get famous. So maybe that's what we'll do.
And that's what we're trying to do here, guys. We're trying to be real good or real bad.
Real terrible. No in between.
No middle of the road.
Exactly.
We're going to give you something to look at.
Right.
All right. So week 1.
Yes.
These are the picks for BK.
Okay.
Let me run down my list. I got the Bengals. I got the Bills. I got the Jags. I'm taking the Texans. I got the Vikings. I think they're going to beat the Giants. The Giants just can't get it together.
Yeah, I like that.
Give me the Titans. I know you just made an awesome case against the Titans, but
you know what? That's
taking them.
That's good. That's one of those things that could have you scratching your head, but it definitely could happen. Let's be real.
Yeah, we'll see. And then I'm going to take the Falcons. Give me the Saints, Seahawks. And I'm sorry, I think that's the one again. But then Chargers, And now you're starting to really see where co-hosts are not agreeing.
I
Give me
love
the
it.
Cowboys.
Yep.
There's no way I'm going against the Cowboys.
Where's
I was at the opening game last year against the Giants where they absolutely smoked them.
Yeah.
They were up like 30 in the first half.
40
I
to
think they're
nothing,
going to.
I think.
Yeah, they're
Something like
coming
that.
out big again.
Yeah.
Get ready.
There you
Get
go.
ready. And then I'm going to take the Bucks. Again, I'm really opposing you everywhere. I'll take the Lions. Then Monday night, I'm really rooting for Rodgers. I really hope he has a comeback year. I'm a fan. But the Niners are just stacked. Give me the Niners.
Mhm.
And those are my picks for week 1.
Excellent. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for if Rodgers is going to start anywhere at San Francisco Monday night. They weren't too kind to him. Schedule makers weren't too kind to him. So yeah, we'll run through mine real quick. I like Buffalo over Arizona. I like the Saints at home against the Panthers. I like the Texans on the road against the Colts. I like the Dolphins at home against the Jags. I think we differ on that one. I do like Minnesota against the Giants. I mean, as long as Daniel Jones is the quarterback of the Giants. I mean, I know he's dating Kay Adams. I don't know if you Kay Adams from Good Morning Football was on Good Morning Football. Grew a beard. He's got a girlfriend now. I still think he's still the same quarterback, so I don't think that's going to matter. So I like Minnesota. I like the Bengals. That's my survivor pick. They better win. Jamar Chase looks like he's going to play. T. Higgins is out, though, so that is a big one. But I think they got a guy named Jermaine Burton on their team that played absolutely insane in the preseason. Look out for him. Might be a nice prop bet for his over on receptions if T. Higgins is out. That's a little snippet there. Okay. I like Atlanta at home against Pittsburgh. It looks like Justin Fields is going to start for the Steelers over Russell Wilson. That's like, who cares? It's like bad or worse. Chicago at home against the Titans, obviously. I like the Broncos on the road to upset the Seahawks because I have to pick them at least week 1, and then we'll regroup if they lose after that. I like the Chargers at home against the Raiders. Jim Harbaugh to win his debut against the Raiders at home, although it'll be a Raiders home game because no one likes the Chargers. I like the Browns over the Cowboys, of course. I like the Commanders over the Bucks. I like the Rams to go in Sunday Night Football and get a little revenge on Detroit after they lost in the playoffs on Sunday night. I like the Rams. I like the Rams a lot this year. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, I do like the Niners at home against the Jets. I do think it'll be a close game. That plus 4.5, I think it'll be a 3-point game, but I think the Niners get it done.
Okay. All right. So there you have it, guys. Those are our picks for week 1.
Right.
You can see there's quite a disparity there. So
yeah. That's good. That's a good thing.
Somebody's going home a winner. Somebody's going home a loser this week. I can tell you that.
A big lead after week 1.
Yep. Yes, sir. Now let's start to kind of flirt with what the whole season's going to look like. I know this is our very first inaugural episode, but we'd be remiss if we didn't share our Super Bowl predictions.
Of course.
I know what mine are. I got to be honest. I don't have a ton of conviction right now. I wish I did. Usually I ride the Cowboys hard, but I'm just not excited at all this year.
Got to be realistic.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do it for the fans. I'm not just doing it for
And it's the first time in your 37 years of living that you're being one, so I do appreciate that.
All right, then you go first, Savvy. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Says me, who's taking the Broncos week 1 on the road to Seattle. Right? So Super Bowl picks. So we'll start AFC Championship. I like a rematch of, I believe it was 2 years ago's both championships. I like Cincinnati and Kansas City in the AFC, and I like the Rams and the Niners in the NFC. The only difference is I like the Rams against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And this hurts me to say, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're going to see the first 3-peat Super Bowl champs in KC. You watch them Thursday night. They got a better offense than last year and the same defense. And if Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, he's only 28 years old. This hurts me to say with this gear on, but I have a hard time betting against the Chiefs. I will tell you, I do have a future bet of them winning the Super Bowl, and I totally hope I lose it. But I think it's the Chiefs against the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I think the Chiefs take it. That's my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, and I guess even in the betting world, there's financial decisions, and then there's emotional decisions.
You got to bet with your brain, and then this one is actually both. So it's like, all right, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I win some money. If they lose, I can clap and be happy. It's okay.
Yeah, there you go. You got a win-win.
Exactly.
All right, so on my side, I am somewhat in line with what you're thinking. I don't know why you're such a big fan of the Rams right now. I'm not getting that. But I will tell you, we are on the same page with the Chiefs. Whether you love them or hate them, I felt this way with Brady. For whatever reason, I was not a Brady fan for literally a decade plus. And then I was like, this guy's incredible. I mean, you got to respect the GOAT, and I became a big Brady fan. And now you look at what he's done. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
it is incredible that we've gone from that almost without skipping a beat to Patrick Mahomes, who I think is almost in that realm of just unreal talent.
Absolutely.
And when the game is on the line, I mean, we've seen it time and time again. He thrives. He is the opposite of my man Dak. It's you put the game on the line. Mahomes is just an absolute beast.
Yeah.
For that reason, I like what the Lions are doing. I wish the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to pick that, though. I am going with the Chiefs as the three-peating Super Bowl champs in the Super Bowl over the Detroit Lions. Yeah. And that is my pick for this year's Super Bowl.
That was not pre-planned. Neither of us knew our Super Bowl picks going into it. So the reason I'm on the Rams, real quick, to me, it has everything to do with health with Stafford and Kupp. If those two can stay healthy, obviously, if any team stays healthy, they're going to have a better shot. But with them, it's strictly that. Because I think Stafford is a top 5 quarterback when he's healthy. The man knows how to win now. He knows what he's doing. He throws. I mean, you got Puka, you got Kupp. They love that kid whose name is totally spacing right now. The kid they drafted for their third receiver. Kyron Williams had an amazing year last year in his first year. They love Blake Corum. They got 2-back system now. I just think if Stafford can stay healthy and McVay can coach him up, McVay's been, a top, 5-10 coach since he's been in the league. And health is the big thing. And the NFC to me is wide open. I think the Niners window is closing very rapidly. I think this is the year they got to do it with Purdy being on that rookie contract. And it's just, we've seen it too many times from the Niners when the chips are down, they fold. And I think the Rams will be there to take advantage of that. And I think Stafford's health, Stafford and Kupp stay healthy. You're going to see Cooper Kupp of old this year. I think he takes over Puka's role that he had last year again. And I think they win a lot of games, and I think they make it.
You know what? I'll agree with you on the offense. I think that the Rams do have a good offense, and I'm a Matt Stafford fan as well. I like them when they had that run, whatever it was, 2-3 years ago. Yeah. But the big difference, I think, is just Aaron Donald we were talking about all-time greats with Brady, Mahomes. He was one of those guys that changed the game. How often do you talk about a defense and like the dominant players, the defensive tackle that's literally leading the entire football team? So I think now with him gone, it's just going to be such a change. I'm not excited about the Rams.
that is a big thing, and that's where I think Stafford comes in, where they're going to have to score a lot of points. I mean, they're going to have to score a lot of points probably every week, but I think the back end of their defense is improved. I think that's where they make up for the Aaron Donald stuff, at least enough to get by.
Yep. Well, there you have it, guys. That wraps up our very first episode here. We're going to put in the show notes all the picks that Sab and I just laid out, so you can hold us accountable. And then week by week, we'll be keeping score here. We'll see who's winning, who's losing, if we're good or if we just both suck. But, time will tell. And most importantly, wherever you're listening or watching this, be sure leave a review, subscribe, go tell a friend. And we're going to have a really fun football season and see what this whole thing turns into.
Sir, I'm excited. Right. I'm excited to get it going. Good luck in your week 1 picks. I think you have no shot, but good luck.
All right. We'll see. All right, Sab. This is Sab.
Yes, sir.
Bet on Us. I'm BK. You're going to hear from us all year, and we will see you next week.